Good evening, Belize. It's Wednesday and you're watching News 5. I'm Sabrina Daly. Here's what's making headlines tonight. Anti-BTL protests are back on the ground as round 2 saw demonstrators blocking the Balkan Bridge. In Belize City, the United Democratic Party turned out to protest outside the Social Security Board, even as a controversial board meeting was moved to Belmopan. Hours before that protest began, prominent UDP supporter Yellow Man was arrested with police alleging he has gang affiliations. At the same time, the National Trade Union Congress is making it clear it wants no part in what it calls the opposition's political theatrics. Also tonight, family members of murder victim Paul Smith Jr. says his killing stems from a long-standing family feud in La Democracia. And in Punta Gorda, a mother and her daughter are in police custody after being caught with a stash of crack cocaine allegedly meant for sale. These stories and more are coming up in just 60 seconds. Stay with us. News 5 starts now.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome back. The United Democratic Party brought its message straight to the streets of Belize City today, rallying outside the Social Security Board headquarters to make their voices heard. From just after 9 this morning, supporters gathered with placards urging the board to say no to BTL's proposed acquisition of SpeedNet, warning the decision could have serious consequences for workers and contributors nationwide. Calling for greater transparency and accountability, protesters vowed to keep the pressure on under the watchful eye of a heavy police presence. News 5 was out there live, and this is what unfolded.
Opposition leader Tracy Panton says the pressure is only ramping up as the UDP pushes the Briceño administration and BTL to abandon the $80 million SpeedNet deal. Today marked round 2 of a planned wave of protests, with supporters turning out at the Social Security Board headquarters. For an opposition fighting to stay relevant, the optics were strong, though somewhat blunted by the board's decision to move its meeting to Belmopan.
What's the plan now that the board meeting has been moved to Belmopan?
Don't worry, they're hearing us in Belmopan. The point is, the SSB board must hear the voices of the people. Our people don't get a chance to opt out of paying their Social Security contributions monthly. And so it is our attempt to get the board members to hear from the people whose money they wish to use for private gain.
You dubbed this round 2. This is round 2. Are you impressed by the showing so far out here?
Stay with us for the rest of the day so you can see what round 2 looks like.
Round 2 was meant to stay on St. Joseph Street after authorities denied permission to protest directly in front of the Social Security building, which sits beside the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, a designated quiet zone. But as protests often do, this one began in defiance of its approved permit. The authorization issued to the UDP under Mesopotamia era Representative Lee Mark Chung was breached even before the official 10 a.m. start time, prompting a warning from Senior Superintendent Raimundo Reyes.
Don't do that, right? Don't do that. You cannot do those things. I tell my people don't do that. No, I tell Ono don't do that. Don't suppress demonstration. We don't want violence. All we want to do is demonstrate and make the government know. Open the books. We do not want this deal. Don't take away for Konomono. Stop to spend for money like the for no own money. That is not right.
Well, at 9:44, you are being informed of the breach of the permit because you are obstructing the traffic.
Officer, if you want, I pay it no, I pay it no, officer.
Definitely a different side of Lee Mark Chung from the peacemaker we saw in front of BTL's headquarters last week. His anger stemmed from learning that police had detained his campaign general and Mesopotamia Ground Commander Brian Yellowman Ardinet moments before the protests, in what many viewed as a preemptive effort to neutralize a key party agitator.
Do not stifle our voices. Right? We have a right to be heard and we have a right to demonstrate. Right? No violence, and I'm not asking for violence. But then when you can lock down a man by nada or a trump-up charge, that's a foolishness.
Detaining Ardinet appeared to have the opposite effect police intended. It added fuel to the UDP's fire, and the demand for his release morphed into a rally cry.
What's the status on Yellowman?
The new law for the Briceño administration, a new law. He has been detained for gang affiliation. Now everybody knows in this country that the only organized group that Yellowman is a part of is the United Democratic Party. And so I hope it is not the intention of this Briceño administration to suggest that the UDP is a gang, because we'll have a real problem.
And despite losing one of its generals to a police detention, the UDP moved forward with fresh momentum, bolstered by wide national backing and a rare sighting of Hugo Pat, who came out of Corozal North to march with his party leader.
We have to show solidarity with our party, but more importantly, to the people of this country who are voicing their opinions. I think that with the potential acquisition by BTL, and I think that it is time now for us to stand up against what's happening with British Nepal. And what are your people saying in Corozal about the proposal of consolidation? First of all, there is no transparency. There are no questions and answers, and everything seems to be happening in secrecy.
Unlike the scene in front of BTS headquarters, UDP candidates from across the country showed up for this demonstration. Perhaps all sensing the vulnerability of the administration on this issue, and no doubt seeking to pounce on the political opportunity that's been presented. Few joined the push against the police cordon, but the message was unified.
It's a national issue, one that Belizeans need to be aware that they're not getting value for money. That's the most important thing in this deal, not value for money.
I mean, this is beyond political. I know a lot of people will try to label this as PUP trying to buy smart and the UDP opposing it for opposing sake, but that's not the case. We all understand the importance of what it would be like if we shift away from competition to a monopoly, and that is what the Belizean people, and not only the independent senators and ourselves, but many other sectors within the Belize, they're saying no to this. And I cannot understand why this government, especially the Prime Minister, continues to push it.
We have come to send a signal to the Social Security Board today, who has major stake in BTL and who operates with the people's money and with the people's mandate. That should never happen. They should send a message to the rest of BTL and the Prime Minister. This acquisition stinks to hell, and we need to get rid of it, and the UDP will not relent, and our social partners, as you've seen, are not relenting.
I think it was vital that we came and lend our support to the unions in their push to force the government to listen to the will of the people. Everywhere you go, you know, and you discuss this issue, this matter, the vast majority aren't content with proceeding with this at this point in time. We don't have enough information.
After delivering their message to the SSB board, the UDP shifted focus to freeing Yellowman. Led by Tracy Panton, protesters moved up Princess Margaret Drive and onto Belcan Bridge, blocking traffic and vowing not to leave until he was released. When police didn't respond, plans were made to shut down the flag monument roundabout during the lunch hour rush. But just then, word came that Yellowman was free. Skeptical of police assurances, protesters held the bridge until he arrived. Minutes later, he emerged from a taxi as a hero to the crowd, now a symbol of UDP's defiance. Shane Williams for News 5.
And even before today's protests could get off the ground, police were already making moves. Members of the GI3 detained Brian Yellowman Audinet in the Mesopotamia Division and took him to the Queen Street Police Station, where he was held throughout the morning. But the reasons for his detention are now at the center of debate. Audinet's attorney Orson Elrington says his client was picked up simply for being labeled a gang member, while Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado insists the detention was necessary, claiming Audinet had been inciting violence through text message sent earlier today.
The officer in command here, regrettably I did not get her name, was very pleasant. She indicated to me that in fact he is in fact being detained for being a member of a gang. So and that the investigating officer is one Sutherland from the GI3. I got the opportunity to speak with my client just now, Mr. Brian Audinet, and he indicated to me that he was in the process of organizing his people from his constituency to participate in the protest this morning, when he got a call from a senior police officer inquiring casually where he was, and he said, well, yes, I'm here. And so he said, well, just if you have any problems today, let me know. And thereafter that, he said about 2 minutes after that, the police showed up to the location of where he was and detained him, again purportedly for being a member of a gang.
That's the farthest from the truth. First of all, I want to say that the police department do support any individual or group of individuals who want to protest, but they must protest in the context of the law. In the case of Yellowman, he's presently detained for inciting violence due to several messages that he sent out to certain individuals inciting violence. And I will leave it at that.
So there is an ongoing investigation where those messages are concerned, you're saying, and where inciting violence on his part is concerned?
Yes, and the investigators, he will be interviewed this morning, reference those messages that he sent out to different individuals.
Can he expect to be remain in detention for an extended period and charges to be levied against him as well?
Like I said, it's an ongoing investigation. He will be interviewed, reference several messages that he sent inciting violence.
By midday, Brian Yellowman Audinet was back on the streets, free from the jail cell that kept him from joining today's protest. You'll remember Audinet as the man who led demonstrations into the BTL compound just last Tuesday. So was today's detention about public safety or stopping a repeat performance? Just before noon, Audinet walked onto the Belcan Bridge to rejoin fellow protesters, transformed by a few hours behind bars into something of a hero. And tonight, he tells us the story doesn't end there. He says He plans to sue the Belize Police Department.
Tell the company to bring the evidence that I may send any text or anything by Facebook that we want to have any kind of violence out there. We was going to be peaceful.
So they had you at Queen Street?
Yes.
Are you a member of
arrested just to keep you away from this?
That is it, and we are going to sue the police department.
Are you a member? Have you ever been a member of a gang?
I'm not gang bang, I'm a member of the United Democratic Party. I appreciate the support from the people. The people understand that what we do that fight for the rights of the Belizean people. And we are talking about an administration who are prepared to acquire smart that would not benefit the Belizean people, but benefit a very few people in this country.
You weren't roughed up in himself today?
No, the police, they were nice, they were doing their job.
And while Audinet insists he was detained simply to keep him off the protest line, he's now vowing to take the Belize Police Department to court, saying there were no threats of violence and no gang ties, only politics at play. Coming up, family alleges ambush in fatal La Democracia shooting. More when we return.
Part of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Accountability isn't merely important for the Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority. It's built into every single aspect of how the SARA will operate. SARA is designed with multiple layers of accountability to guarantee responsible and transparent management at every level. Annual comprehensive audits of all SARA operations, finances, and performance will be carried out, providing independent oversight and public reporting. SARA must provide detailed annual reports to Parliament, giving our policymakers complete visibility into operations, achievements, challenges, and financial management. Every dollar collected will flow directly to the government's Consolidated Revenue Fund, managed by the Government of Belize, and will be reinvested in Belize's development. All procurement, spending, and financial management will follow public procurement procedures and public financial management rules, ensuring transparency and the efficient use of public funds. SARA, accountable by design.
Our Belize City is growing because of continued investment. From rehabilitated streets to expanding neighborhoods, significant investments are improving how our city functions and how our communities live. In the last 2 years alone, more than 250 streets have been rehabilitated, representing almost $34 million invested directly in physical infrastructure that improves access and quality of life. At the same time, the city continues to expand. Developments such as the Holy Emmanuel area, also known as Gungulung, reflect increased demand for land and housing as Belize City expands in a more sustainable and resilient way. These planned developments support safer communities and long-term sustainability, contributing to rising property values across the city. Under the Town's Property Evaluation Act, property values are required to be reviewed every 5 years. The last valuation adjustment was done in 2013. This adjustment simply brings property values closer to today's market reality, while the tax rate itself remains unchanged. Let's break it down. For a vacant property valued at $25,000, we charged an annual 2% rate, which works out to a payment of $500. Under the new assessment, the property value has appreciated by 40%, making the property now worth $35,000. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 2% of $35,000, which works out to $700. For an occupied property valued at $25,000, we charged an annual 10% rate, which works out to $2,500. Under the new assessment, the property's value has appreciated by 18%, making the property now worth $29,500. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 10% of $29,500, which works out to $2,950. To support property owners, your Belize City Council is encouraging residents to take advantage of the ongoing property tax prepayment incentives. Property owners receive 15% off in January, 10% off in February, and 5% in March. And senior citizens receive a 35% discount year-round. Remember, this adjustment represents an appreciation in your property's worth, not a change in tax rates, ensuring continued investment in your city while providing valuable data for informing investors, municipal bondholders, and individual credit assessments. And we want residents to know the law provides a clear mechanism for review and appeal if needed. Those who believe their valuation does not fairly reflect their property have the right to engage the Belize City Valuation Appeals Board. Your Belize City Council remains committed to openness, accountability, and ensuring that growth is managed fairly for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Tonight, a family in La Democracia village is reeling after a deadly shooting they say was no accident. 21-year-old Paul Smith Jr. was killed in what relatives and witnesses describe as a targeted ambush, one that unfolded moments after a heated argument with his girlfriend and ended with armed attackers opening fire. Smith, a young man already known to the public because of past arrests and a high-profile 2022 murder case he was later acquitted of, now leaves behind a grieving family who say long-standing internal tensions may be at the heart of this tragedy. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the story.
Less than 6 months after walking out of Belize Central Prison, 21-year-old Paul Smith Jr. is dead. Once accused in a brutal chopping attack and no stranger to the police, Smith was shot and killed Tuesday in his own neighborhood. His family says the shooting happened moments after an argument with his girlfriend. When gunmen ambushed him, shots his cousin Tamara Gillett says she heard as he was gunned down.
It looked like neighbor must be done with the dog out here whatsoever. So like that. So he run out of the bush or shot up here whatsoever. But we went in our house. We didn't hear the gunshot. When we hear the gunshot, I think we end up run out. When we run out, we fly past the spot where my cousin there.
Smith was hit multiple times in the chest, stomach, and arms, while his friend, 24-year-old Tyrese Allen, escaped with minor injuries. Both men were rushed to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, but despite doctors' efforts, Smith later succumbed to his wounds.
When we saw that, we just see the car fly past, right? When the car fly past, and they say, my cousin get shot, right? So they say, my cousin get shot, right? We never think that me like, so they may, like, critical or whatever, right? We think like you just get shot in the hand or something, you know? So after that, when we did, my auntie called me back and say, girl, Jun dead. Jun dead. Then I started telling everybody, boy, I can't believe it. They killed my cousin.
Smith had a well-documented history with law enforcement. He had been previously arraigned for gun and ammunition charges, handling stolen goods, as well as more violent crimes, including attempted murder and use of deadly means of harm. His family admits Smith had a long record, but insists his past did not justify his killing.
My cousin never deserved that. We don't say he never bad, right? We don't say he never bad, but he never touched none of the miss. This is our family issue. This thing extend big way, never have me extend like that.
In 2024, Smith was acquitted of the murder of La Democracia resident Tyreek August. That incident happened in 2022. After his release, Smith's attorney, Ronald Gonzalez, said that the young man had been urged to turn his life around and leave crime behind.
The judge, like other judges I have seen, offered some kind of guidance to these young people that are before the court. In this particular case, he offered some kind of guidance to young Paul Smith to say that what happens from here in your life is dependent upon you. You have the power to make changes in your life at this point. You are now free from this case, and what happens after is your choice. That is some kind of guidance that I've seen come before these courts. Madam Justice Moore does the same kind of guidance to young people. Oftentimes, young persons are caught up in these cases, these offenses, and in truth they need some kind of guidance moving forward.
According to Gillett, the killing stemmed from a feud with other members of the family. She claims that several attempts had been made on his life in the past.
Number one, he did long time. Straight been the corner back here and he shot my auntie, his ma, they shot his ma, they shot my cousin back here, they burned down his sister house. Miss the people want drama. They want drama. Like what we say, right? No, boom, they give me a wish. They want my cousin dead. It dead, no.
Relatives say they are heartbroken, still struggling to come to terms with how Smith was killed. His cousin, Angel Estrada, says that despite his flaws, Smith was a friend to her and many others.
You never have to go this far, you get the sense? And this is our life, you get the sense? Our life, we talk about him there. And regardless of whatsoever, we know the goodness that he, on the end of the day, we know to say he have no good pick me or nothing like that, but we know the goodness that he.
Police have detained several suspects, but no arrests have been made so far. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Tonight, a mother and daughter from Punta Gorda are facing serious drug charges after a police search turned up a large quantity of crack cocaine. Officers say the discovery was made Tuesday during the execution of a search warrant at a home on Sarah Road, where 47-year-old Cheryl Garbut and her 18-year-old daughter Kyla Bahadur were found. Police report uncovering a plastic bag containing 100 foil-wrapped parcels of crack cocaine, weighing just over 15 grams. Both women were taken into custody and later charged with possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply. A Belize City fisherman is in police custody tonight after what investigators say was a failed attempt to dump an illegal gun. Police report that just before 10 o'clock on Monday morning, officers on motorcycle patrol along Riverside Street spotted 24-year-old Kyle Cadle riding a bicycle. When he noticed the patrol, they say Cadle suddenly changed direction and took off into a nearby yard. Officers gave chase and claimed they saw him toss an object near a zinc fence. A search turned up a firearm with a magazine loaded with 8 9mm rounds. Cadle was later arrested and charged with keeping a firearm and ammunition without a license. After the break, a telecom tug-of-war, the battle over BTL and SpeedNet. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
I crossed borders in Central America, searching for the stories behind the places we think we know. I'm Sabrina Daly, traveling as a Belizean, curious about the culture, the people, and the experiences that make each destination stand out. From the spirited landscapes of Honduras to the evolving heartbeat of El Salvador.
Go Pupusa!
This journey explores what it really feels like to travel our region. This is Across Borders.
The Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit offers correction and birth amendment services to correct information on your certificates. Correction services are meant to fix typos and similar errors. Birth amendment services allow for changing a child's name within the first year of registration, as well as adding or removing the father's details from the birth certificate. Who can apply? Any life event participant involved, such as bride or groom for marriage record corrections, mother, father, or child over 18 for birth record corrections, either the mother or father depending on the type of birth amendment. A person authorized can also apply once they have an authorization form. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit our website at crvs.gov.bz today to access our services.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February, only at Benquit Equipment Parts Service.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Labor leaders also took their protests directly to the headquarters of the Social Security Board, despite being denied official permission to demonstrate. The National Trade Union Congress gathered outside the building, protesting alongside but distinctly separate from a demonstration by the United Democratic Party. While both groups are raising serious concerns about how workers' contributions are being managed, the unions insist this is not a political fight. They say their demands are about transparency, protecting workers' rights, and having a genuine voice through public consultation. But today's action also revealed rising tensions as union leaders accuse the UDP of inflaming the situation and putting their members at risk. Shane Williams has more in this report.
Chants, placards and union colors were well represented outside the Social Security Board in Belize City this morning as joint unions staged a protest running parallel to a demonstration by the United Democratic Party. For the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, the protest went ahead despite police denying their formal application for a permit.
As much as the UDP did get approval for theirs up to 12 o'clock, we wanted ours to be from 11 to 2 so that the workers, even the workers from Social Security Board, would come out and support what we are saying, that the board should be very cautious whenever they decide or how they decide to move forward with this proposal. So we believe and we know it's our constitutional right to protest. That's why we're out here. We're expecting more members to come out, and we also understand the meeting has been moved to Belmopan. So we'll be having members in Belmopan as well. So we have to divide the members. Some will be Belmopan but walking the street because we know they can't stand still, right? They can't gather. But they'll be walking the streets. We have to send a message that we need to ensure there's public consultation. We need to ensure that regular citizens understand all those big words and all those technical words must be broken down so citizens can understand what are the risks and what may be the benefits and then make a sober decision.
Wade says the unions chose to stand their ground, insisting workers have a right to be heard, especially on decisions involving Social Security funds. Among those present was the Belize Communication Workers for Justice, whose fight for severance for former BTL employees has now merged with broader opposition to the proposed SpeedNet acquisition.
On our side, when we have been presenting is that we join the two items because if BTL owes a debt to its former employees, they need to settle it. We need to know what that number is. We need to recognize all the former employees, agree that they are eligible, understand what that debt is. The Social Security Board of Directors need to also understand what that debt is, because if this debt is 25 million or if it's 50 million, then what are we doing to BTL, making them also invest $80 million in a company like Smart?
Observing, you all know that we don't rush into everything, and we notice that there is a lot of discrepancies, and it's very important for us to represent our 4,000 plus. We want answers.
And so this is one of the biggest unions. Do you guys believe that you will be able to bring out your numbers within the coming weeks to have a greater showing?
Of course. The first step is to educate them, provide them with the pros and cons of what they're presenting, demanding from BTL the answers that we all need. Because when I listen to them saying that the funds that they are in charge of does not require public consultation, I'm surprised. Because Social Security, we contribute. Government, we are the government. We only elect representatives, but the people are the government.
And how would you respond to those saying that you guys were taking too long to come out here?
They have to learn one thing about the BNTU. When you know your power, you don't rush. It is not the roar of the lion. It's the silence that is deadly.
Support also came from outside traditional union leadership. Former Carl Hirschner Memorial Hospital Board President Andrew Beard stepped out during his lunch break, saying this was an issue that cuts across professions. Even though the protest was in front of the hospital, which is a quiet zone, KHMH's union members felt the need to support.
When the Trade Union Congress call upon its members and supporters, then we have to do it, And this is a matter of national interest, and I believe that the more people we have out here, it's better to show the solidarity in reference to the BTL Smart saga.
Should we expect more members coming out during the course of this demonstration?
Certainly, in a few, the organizers from the union will be bringing out the other members, but just that my time for my break is now, and so I am here.
Ashley Longford, a youth representative with the NTUCB and student advocate, said the decisions being made now will directly affect the next generation of workers.
As a young person, it's very much important for me to be out there, but to also encouraging young persons to be out there, because we hold, as people and as young people, we hold majority of the shares of that. It's our future and we are the now. If you know that telecommunication is something very important that affects our schools, affects our daily life. If you look on social media right now, who is on there? The young persons, and they will be as much affected by this.
As the morning progressed, tensions rose when UDP supporters moved closer toward the Social Security Board compound. NTUCB President Ella Wade says the move placed union members inside the building at risk, a development she says is completely unacceptable.
The workers in Social Security Board are members of the Christian Workers Union, and what the opposition is doing right now is putting them in a situation. They were going to come out here with us, a lot of them are going to come out here with us because they also are citizens of Belize and they also have concerns about this acquisition. But with the opposition people trying to go into the office the way they did it, the members are scared now. They're not going to come out. It defeats the purpose of why the union is out here. We are not here to break up anything. This is Social Security Board. The meeting isn't even happening in there. What will they do if they go in there? Attack our members? Then these people will go in there and protect our members. So we're asking, hold it down, man. This is not what the NTUCB is out here for.
The NTUCB says that while it shares concerns about Social Security, it will not support political actions that endanger workers or blur the lines between labor advocacy and party politics. Union leaders say today's message was simple. The fight is about workers, their contributions, and the future of Belize, not political colors. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
In a country where staying connected has never mattered more, a bold business move is raising serious concerns. Belize Telemedia Limited, already the heavyweight in the telecom industry, wants to buy out its rival, Speednet. Supporters say the deal could mean smoother operations and better service for customers. But critics aren't convinced. What started as a business transaction has quickly become a national conversation, pulling in unions, business leaders, politicians, and everyday Belizeans who are asking, who really benefits? Is this about progress or about power? With negotiations now at the standstill, concerns over fair competition, consumer rights, and the future of telecommunications in Belize are front and center. Tonight, News 5 takes a deeper dive into the arguments, the tensions, and what's at stake in the BTL Speednet saga in this week's edition of 5 Point Breakdown.
On January 8th, Belize Telemedia Limited applied to the Public Utilities Commission for approval to buy 4 telecom, cable and broadband companies, a step required by law. But public and industry pressure quickly changed the course. 3 of those companies walked away from the talks, leaving Speednet as the only one still at the table. Speednet, the country's second largest telecom provider, is valued at $80 million. If the deal goes through, BTL would further cement its dominance of the market. Still, BTL's chief financial officer, Ian Cleverly, insists the acquisition would benefit consumers and deliver stronger returns for shareholders.
Belize market is small and mature. Operating 2 parallel mobile networks increases costs and limits rural expansion. This is about efficiencies in the country, not consumer harm. Consumer protection, we're looking with no forced plan changes. Service continues on BTL and Speednet, no numbers need to change, and we're looking at 36-month price caps with PUC oversight.
Still, this isn't just a straightforward cost-cutting move. Before anything happens, BTL must first get the green light from its board. The government of Belize is a majority shareholder, and Social Security has the second largest stake in the company. An independent member also sits on the board. So far, repeated attempts have fallen short, with BTL unable to win majority support from its board. Growing public resistance has disrupted the company's efforts to convene a board meeting and move forward with the acquisition. The Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry says consumer protection concerns are primary.
The issue of BTL's past actions raise competition and consumer protection concerns. That was an issue for us years ago, and the potential for that reoccurring within the sphere of consolidation continues to be the forefront of our minds.
The National Trade Union Congress of Belize argues that Social Security may be exposing pension funds to undue risks.
If we lose in a monopoly at the Social Security Board, it will not allow for certain things to happen whenever you and I retire.
At the same time, independent senators are urging that the deal be abandoned, citing fears of market monopolization and insufficient public input.
The person who, in my belief, is the architect or the pushing this deal that Belizeans are vocally rejecting and actively rejecting, once sat as an independent senator. And it is my personal belief that if he had the information that we have, and if he sat where we sit today, I believe that he would be with us rejecting this deal.
United Democratic Party has held 2 public demonstrations in 1 week, denouncing the proposed acquisition. Retired BTL employees have also voiced their objections as they demand severance payments. Now when it comes to who has the final word, the law is clear. That authority rests solely with the Public Utilities Commission. Under the Belize Telecommunications Act, the PUC regulates the industry and has the power to block the merger if it clashes with any of the Act's 11 objectives. So far, though, the Commission hasn't decided, and until it does, this deal goes nowhere.
The law sets out the objects of the Act under Section 3. We have to think about the quality of service to consumers. We have to look at the quality and reliability of the service, the whole general provision of the service to the consumers, the price. We have to consider it's a list of from about A to K of matters that we have to consider to see whether such an agreement would frustrate those objects.
In the end, the real winners or losers could be the thousands of telecom and broadband customers across the country. BTL argues that consumers will realize immediate benefits, while dissenting voices say that consumers will be at a disadvantage. At this stage, the PUC controls the direction of the deal, even as the Prime Minister emphasizes the need to respect the process and protect the public interest.
I have said all along, let the process proceed. And they came to Cabinet, they spoke to us for about 2 hours and a half. They answered every single question that ministers had, and they left to our satisfaction. But as a Cabinet, we have said let the process continue.
With the deal still up in the air, all eyes are on the Public Utilities Commission, whose decision could redefine the future of telecommunications in Belize. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
When we return, price caps or regulation? PUC explains.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
All right, you're all set. I'll swap out the water inlet valve and everything is running normally.
Amazing. So what will be the cost?
Oh, for you? There's no cost.
No cost? I'm flattered, but I'm actually married.
Oh no, nothing like that. It's actually part of our 1-year warranty policy.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Don't worry, it happens all the time.
Really?
No.
Belize's only full-service GE USA dealer. Full service, full warranty, full selection. GE Appliances. Good things for life. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
Start your day the right way with your morning boost. Get moving with energizing workouts, refreshing yoga sessions, and easy tips to keep your mind and body in balance. From fitness to personal growth and positivity, we're here to kickstart your mornings with motivation that lasts all day. Wake up to wellness. Your morning boost every weekday at 6 a.m. only on Greater Belize Media.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we're powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
That's me. My data and I really need to get my ARA out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that works?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
There's been growing talk in recent weeks about a new statutory instrument aimed at capping telecom prices and protecting consumers. But is it really needed? Especially when the Public Utilities Commission is already taking a close look at market dominance in the sector and exploring other regulatory options. On Tuesday, we put that very question to the Commission, and tonight we're sharing what they had to say.
Well, under Section 26 of the Belize Telecommunications Act, it clearly states that the PUC may make regulations to implement rates where the situation arises where there is a sole provider or a dominant provider. And so what we are doing here is the initial consultation process in determining a dominant provider. As currently is, what exists is we have many licensees, but we still currently do have the 2 individual licensees operating in the market.
Market share is only one of the factors we need to consider. If you go back to Section 42(3), you see that we have to consider other factors. So we couldn't, by Again, what speak on Prime Minister exercise is an independent exercise we're conducting that we've been planning to conduct, which looks, yes, at market share as one, but was to look at other areas.
So it sounds like the app is just fine on its own. Is an SI necessary?
Some of the remedies that can be implemented will require for an SI to be generated, not necessarily in all the cases.
As we mentioned earlier, the Public Utilities Commission's early findings show that BTL already holds the strongest position in the telecom market. So the big question now is this: if BTL is allowed to buy SpeedNet, does that turn the company into a full-blown monopoly? Critics of the deal say absolutely, but the PUC sees it differently, explaining that while BTL may dominate certain segments of the market, it would not control the entire telecom landscape.
This exercise in and of itself that we've undertaken is to preserve competition and to protect the public's interest and consumers' interests. This exercise of declaring dominance and identifying possible remedies in order to limit any abuse of that dominance.
The PUC has initially found that BTL is the dominant provider. If it moves to acquire the shares of the biggest competitor, will that make BTL a monopoly?
Only in certain markets. Competition would still continue in other markets.
When it comes to broadband, it's going to change only one of the factors we're looking at. Remember, market share is not the only factor that we are required under the act to consider when making an initial determination or a determination.
That matter is before the PUC, and we will determine it. We will issue a decision, a well-reasoned decision when the time comes, and as we usually do with all matters that come before us.
The PUC says its review is still underway, and when the time comes, the Commission will issue a detailed, well-reasoned decision on whether BTL's proposed acquisition raises competition concerns and what safeguards, if any, are needed to protect consumers. Though organized separately, the opposition and the unions echoed the same concerns over transparency and accountability. And while Belize's independent senators weren't on the ground today, their voices were still part of the chorus, raising fresh objections during a press conference. Senator Janelle Chinona says despite repeatedly flagging their concerns, the senators have yet to receive any response, keeping the pressure squarely on government and decision makers.
We continue to advocate for meaningful consultation. We believe this issue, this discussion, this national conversation is a prime case study for use of a transparent mechanism so that we can be accountable to the people and say this is where the public stands on this and therefore this is the decision being made. That consultation must be meaningful. We have certainly been aware of various press releases from various entities, having had the benefit of our presentation. We certainly have shared our individual questions on this, and there has been no response via the public domain or directly to us. And I think it is important for us as citizens to embrace our role in this, given the implications or the potential implications. And I don't know about you, but when toothpaste come out of the tube and it's too much, you can't put it back in. So precautionary approach and making sure that we're going into this decision and decisions of this nature, national decisions, informed and confident, and making sure that we are putting forward the best interests of the nation. So this would be our continued position on this matter.
Questions remain unanswered regarding the legality of Belize Telemedia Limited's proposed acquisition of SpeedNet. Just last week, the CEO in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Dr. Leroy Almendarez, likened the move to BEL, calling it a natural monopoly that can be regulated through agreements. But Belize's independent senators aren't buying that comparison. They argue the laws governing telecoms and electricity are fundamentally different, and that the Telecommunications Act draws a clear line. Business Senator Kevin Herrera points to Section 42, which specifically bars any licensee, that is, from taking actions that significantly reduce competition in the market. In other words, the debate isn't just political, it may be legal.
For this, you really have to go back to the Act. The Telecommunications Act is really based on a liberalized market. I don't think that the Belize Electricity Act was formulated in that manner. This goes back 22 years ago, when the Telecommunications Act, the entire thing was to move us away from a monopoly and bring us into competition. That was the basis of which it was done. So if you look at 42.4, that was just read a little while ago, it talks about no player in the market can act in such a manner where it significantly lessens competition. I don't know how you get around that. I mean, that is so clear. That is the policy. That is where we are right now. How does the PUC, how does BTL get around that? I can't understand that without going to Parliament and amending that aspect of it. And in my view, it's almost like you'd have to redo the entire Act, because the entire Act is based on a liberalized market.
What can an SI change, and how is it that you change the substantive law? Because we know the pen is mightier than the sword. So the question might be, if there is an intention or a willingness to change the Telecommunication Act, even retroactively, there's a process for that. But it's also asking, what can an SI achieve? And Senator Dennison and the lawyers will validate. But as far as I've become aware in my time in the Senate since March 2022, SIs change regulations. To change the substantive act, I believe you do have to go to the House of Representatives.
Up next, awareness, education, empowerment. Belize observes World Cancer Day.
My data done, and I really need to get my ARA out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
La formación del Centro Neurológico del Hospital Galenia es que esas enfermedades que son altamente complejas y que muchos de nuestros pacientes tenían que emigrar hacia otra parte de la República u otra parte de México, ahora puedan ser atendidos aquí.
La atención quirúrgica en el centro neurológico se forma dentro de un grupo multidisciplinario que incluye tanto neurólogos, médicos internistas, ortopedistas, neurocirujanos, pediatras. Y este esfuerzo que se ha realizado para conjuntar todos los especialistas es para siempre brindar al paciente un abordaje multidisciplinario y transversal. Evidentemente, mientras más rápido podamos llegar al diagnóstico de los pacientes, más rápido podemos tratarlos, resolverlos y por ende mejor resultado vamos a tener al final. Entonces creo que la prioridad y el fundamento principal de un proyecto como este es justamente eso, que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados con un tratamiento completo, integral y oportuno. Y las visiones desde diferentes perspectivas nos permiten tener pues el mejor tratamiento y la mejor opción para el paciente.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
Today is February 4th, and around the world, millions of people are coming together to observe World Cancer Day. This year's global theme, United by Unique, reminds us that while cancer touches many lives, every patient's journey is deeply personal and deserves care that puts people first. The day spotlights prevention, early detection, and equal access to treatment as key weapons in the fight against one of the world's leading causes of death. Here at home, the Belize Cancer Society is championing that message by highlighting the human side of the disease. Today, we stop by to hear from the Society's president, Kim Simplice Barrow.
To us here at the Belize Cancer Society, it really means that we're putting cancer at the center of the conversation. It really is about humanizing the disease and making it people-centered. It is having conversations about how cancer affects each individual, because no two cancer journey is the same. It is about holding everyone accountable for our cancer patients and really having honest conversation about cancer.
What does the society plan to do this year to keep that momentum going?
Well, we have a whole calendar of events happening this year. As you are aware, last month was Cervical Cancer Month. And we're hosting a forum, a cervical cancer forum this year at St. Catherine Academy on the 27th of February. And really it's about dialogue, it's about empowerment, it is about education. And so we, of course, had to have a testimonial, someone who has been through, walked the journey of cervical cancer. And so we're obviously inviting everyone to come. We are partnering with PAHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And the Ministry of Health and Wellness will again have their HPV testing and vaccination on site. So we're thankful for that. We're having our cancer walk in May. We continue on a monthly basis to highlight all cancers, because it's not just about cervical or breast cancer or prostate cancer, it's all cancers.
Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, heavy police watch as United Democratic Party protests SSB. Ryan C. Eligio commented, "I feel like they need to keep the protests about the sale of Smart to BTL. Other agendas should be dealt with another time. Sometimes you do need to get rash to let your voices be heard. However, it kind of covered up your main agenda. My 2 cents." On the topic, unions protests at SSB headquarters draw line from party politics. Shans Mendez shared, "I agree with her. This is nothing about politics. This is for the Belizean people." And finally, on family alleges ambush in fatal La Democracia shooting, Brittany Budge shared, "As you try change, things like these happen." Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.